meet his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Now, when we spoke the other night, you said that things had gotten so serious that you became pregnant. Not once, but twice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When was the first time you became pregnant with Diddy's child?
The first time was October 2014.
Okay. So this was like, what, a year after?
No, not a year, but because I met him in February and then I got pregnant in October.
Oh, so the same year.
The same year.
Okay. And you mind telling me what happened with that pregnancy?
I told him, and he was like, you're going to get an abortion, right? And then I was like, I don't know.
This Diddy court case just flipped into straight up chaos. And guess what? Jaguar Wright just dropped a bombshell. She's claiming Diddy allegedly kidnapped the prosecution's star witness. Yep, you heard that right. Snatched up before she could even testify. This whole case is turning messier by the minute, and it's only the beginning. The prosecution stunned everybody when they revealed their number one witness had vanished into thin air. No texts, no calls, gone like a ghost. Even her legal team couldn't find her. At first, folks thought maybe she dipped on her own. But Jaguar Wright ain't buying it. She says this has Diddy's name written all over it. With everything that's already been said about him, people ain't even shocked. But Wright didn't stop there. She came with receipts. She's not just talking wild, she's bringing heat. And from the way things are looking, she might just help take Diddy down once and for all. So now the big question is, who is this mystery witness? And how on earth did Diddy manage to reach her before the feds locked it all down?
I don't know yet. And then he offered me $50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because I just loved him, and I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that
Was
wanted him for money.
Okay.
I just care about him, and I just wanted him to be nice to me. That's it. I was like, I don't want your money. I just want you to be nice to me.
Whether you decide to keep the baby or not.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be fair to say that he was an asshole about it? I mean, offering somebody $50,000 to abort a baby, whew.
This trial was already a hot mess before it even started. But now, it's historic. We all knew this would be one of the most scandal-packed courtroom battles in entertainment history, but nobody expected it to spiral this fast. And that was just in week one. Even on day one, the courtroom was buzzing with celebrity names being tossed around like confetti. And not just randoms. We're talking major names like Kid Cudi, Kanye West, Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, actors Mike Myers and Lauren London, and even singer Dawn Richard, who used to be signed to Bad Boy Records. Oh, and that's not all. Michael B. Jordan's name popped up too. Reportedly, during jury selection, folks were asked if they recognized a list of celebs who might be mentioned throughout the trial. According to Rolling Stone, Michael B. Jordan and Cassie were linked back in 2015, and her November 2023 lawsuit against Diddy brings that timeline right into focus.
He must really want it gone bad.
I mean, in the beginning, like the first 3.5 years, the first 3-4 months, he was really nice. But then after that, he started being an asshole. So like I say, like the first 3.5 years, he was like mean to me.
So when you say mean, describe it.
He was like always belittling me, and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me.
Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time we've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
There was an incident, of course, with Cassie, where reporters are saying that the police were called because they got into an altercation. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Back in 2015, during a rocky break in Diddy's relationship with R&B singer Cassie Ventura, she started getting cozy with a rising actor, now revealed to be Michael B. Jordan. But when Diddy found out, He allegedly hit the roof and called up Jordan himself with some serious threats. That tea alone had everyone shook. But it turns out that was just the tip of the iceberg. Because right after that bomb dropped came something even wilder. The prosecution's star witness in Diddy's federal trial has gone completely missing, disappeared into thin air. Reports now say that one of the 4 main witnesses for the New York federal case might not even show up to testify, and that has everybody in panic mode. Especially since this particular witness, known only as Victim 3 in the indictment, had just recently pledged to testify in court and spill everything. And get this, she's the main one who was supposed to paint a clear picture of how Diddy allegedly exploited her. Her testimony could have been the final blow for Diddy's defense. Without her, prosecutors are basically limping into the courtroom, and that opens the door for Diddy to walk away without a single charge sticking. According to leaked court docs, her story could have helped land Diddy behind bars for the rest of his life if he's found guilty. But now, it's all hanging by a thread. Judge Aaron Subramanian was set to finalize jury selection and hear a full update on Victim 3 at 8:30 a.m. EST, but things just got way more complicated. Insiders say Diddy's legal team is already preparing to ask for a mistrial or delay the whole thing altogether. Law enforcement claims the missing witness might have gone off-grid out of fear for her life, but they won't say much else. Real suspicious, right? But Jaguar Wright isn't staying quiet. She claims Victim 3 didn't go dark by choice. She was allegedly kidnapped by Diddy's people to silence her before she could take the stand. Jaguar is saying Diddy had goons scoop her up to keep her quiet. And if that's true, this case just hit a whole new level of scary. Here's where things get real suspicious. The star witness known as Victim 3 vanished just days after agreeing to testify under her real name. Ever since this investigation started, her identity was locked down tight. Only the feds and prosecutors knew who she was. But the second her name got out, she disappeared without a trace. No explanation, no warning, just gone. Now, tell me that's a coincidence? Because it's giving setup all over. Jaguar Wright säger att det är kristallklart, något skumt gick ner och en hel del människor börjar att komma överens. Fans online are buzzing, trying to figure out who Victim 3 really is. And one name keeps popping up. Gina Huyn, Diddy's ex-side piece. And here's where it gets even more wild. Gina's been MIA on Instagram. No new posts, no stories, nothing. Just vanished from social media. And the timing? Way too perfect. Let's not forget, Gina already spilled some serious tea in an interview with Tasha K, where she flat out said Diddy treated her horribly. She even revealed that she got pregnant by him twice, and claimed he pressured her to end both pregnancies. But she didn't stop there. Gina also threw some serious shade at Young Miami, and fans been peeping the tension between them, especially after that messy online moment when Gina posted a picture of Diddy kissing her on the cheek. Whew, chaos! Young Miami wasn't having it and jumped on Twitter to throw shots saying, "Somebody please give this bee some attention." Gina clapped back quick on IG stories, calling her out and saying, "If anyone's seeking attention, it's you. I'm not giving a damn. I am the attention. Let's be clear." That's how Young Miami popped off during her online back and forth with Gina Huyn. She wasn't holding back, clapping hard and telling Gina to go sit down and relax. Miami made it loud and clear that Gina had just been lurking in the background for years, waiting for her moment. And that moment wasn't coming. Then she threw a shot that had everybody's jaw on the floor. If he can't make you famous, I ain't arguing with nobody who got cheap carpet while sleeping with a billionaire. That was cold. Gina fired right back, asking, "Why you so pressed, mama? I thought you were a city girl." Miami came swinging again. "I am. That's why I'm with your man. And I'm not letting go. I don't care how many pictures you post. Go get your hair braided and leave." The disrespect was loud and clear. Gina didn't stay quiet either. She hinted that during her time with Diddy, it was actually Miami who called the shots. And when you start connecting the dots, there's been hints of that dynamic for a while now. During one of their most heated exchanges, Miami took it to a whole new level with her words, saying things that many fans thought crossed a line. She went off about how, if she wanted Gina to follow her commands, she could have made it happen. She mocked Gina for crying on Tasha K's interview, allegedly over not being able to have a child, and even said, "You've been around forever, just one of many that Diddy sees when he feels like it." It was straight up savage, but here's where things start to connect, and why so many people are now seriously entertaining the theory that Gina might actually be victim 3 in Diddy's criminal case. Because the details about victim 3 in the Fed's superseding indictment line up way too close. That new filing describes how Diddy, listed as the defendant, had a persistent and pervasive pattern of mistreatment toward women and others around him. The court document outlines how his behavior was verbal, emotional, and physical, and that he allegedly manipulated women into doing things they weren't comfortable with, including performing in orchestrated scenarios with him, and sometimes even with third parties tied to his business world. Here's where the case against Diddy gets extra disturbing. According to court docs, Diddy, along with people under his direction, didn't just throw wild parties. They allegedly arranged for women to be flown out to his locations from shopping centers and public places. These weren't just meetups. The feds say he used everything from money, career promises, and even threats to lock them in. He'd flash his power and influence, promising fame, but also threatening to snatch it away if they didn't go along. It wasn't just charm, it was full-on intimidation. The new charges lay it out. Diddy and his inner circle allegedly used his celeb status to lure women into his circle, often pretending it was for a relationship. But behind the scenes, it was all part of something way darker. Once they were in, Diddy allegedly used force, threats, and manipulation to push them into doing things they did not want to do. And this reportedly involved at least 3 women, labeled as female 1, 2, and 3 in the documents. And it didn't stop there. Diddy allegedly handed out money, covered rent, and promised major career moves in return for what the feds are calling commercial acts. Some of those acts involved other men, and these twisted setups were referred to by Diddy as freak-offs. Yup, that was the name he gave them. These so-called freak-offs weren't just random parties. The feds say they were produced performances that Diddy arranged, controlled, and even filmed. With help from his crew, women were transported across state lines, and even internationally, all under the direction of what they now call the Combs Enterprise. And here's one of the most serious claims. Diddy has been accused of allegedly forcing women to sleep with other men at his parties, all in exchange for money. But according to federal sources, these women never agreed to it willingly. One woman, believed to be victim 3, didn't want any part of it. But the feds say Diddy pressured her until she gave in. Then, he made her accept money for it, just so he could later claim she was a paid worker, not a victim. That way, he could deny any abuse and paint it as consensual business. And with how fast people online judge the women involved in these parties, it's easy to see how that strategy could silence anyone brave enough to speak out. And here's the twist that might hit Diddy where it hurts the most. His wallet. Most of his fortune comes from Bad Boy and all the ventures tied to it. But based on the latest documents, that cash flow could be drying up real fast. The feds aren't playing. They said straight up, because of the crimes listed in Count 1, Diddy has to forfeit everything tied to those actions. That includes investments, contracts, rights, influence, anything that gave him control over his empire. Every dollar linked to those alleged crimes, gone. The government wants all of it. We're talking about any and all property, real or personal, that was used, involved, or even intended to help pull off those crimes, and they made it crystal clear. Even the money indirectly tied to it is fair game. In simple terms, the feds basically said, if your money touched this mess, it's ours now. But of course, Diddy's legal team fired back. They claim this is nothing new, just recycled accusations from former partners. His lawyers say it was all consensual, calling it part of his private life, not something criminal. They're painting this whole thing as a personal relationship being twisted into something it wasn't. Now here's where fans start connecting the dots. Many believe that statement was aimed at Gina. And if victim 3 is Gina, it would make total sense why Diddy might have allegedly tried to find her before she could testify. She knows too much. Jaguar Wright hasn't officially named names, but she's not staying silent either. She strongly believes this whole situation was staged. According to her, the timing of victim 3's disappearance lining up with the start of the trial, that ain't no coincidence. She says the feds need to dig deeper because what they find might shake the whole game. So now we gotta ask, do you think Jaguar Wright is exposing the truth about what's really going on behind the scenes, or is she just stirring the pot again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear everything. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates on this wild case. And hit that bell so you don't miss the next one. Because trust me, this story, it's far from over. See you on the next one.